What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 87, and we started today's episode off here with two bids for our players, Denon Lewis and Nathaniel Klein. Klein is wanted by Lyon for £21 million, but of course we say no, as our right back had a fantastic debut year for us last season after signing from Liverpool. And as for Denon Lewis, well, he's a left winger that was wanted by Stoke City on a 2-year loan deal, and we accept that because we may not be here in 2 years, we're not too sure, but for Lewis, he's not good enough for the first team just yet, and I just don't want to sell him, to be honest. So we're going to loan him out to Stoke City. He'll play under Mark Hughes at the Britannia Stadium for 2 seasons and see how he looks after those 2 years have passed. Still following out, we put in a bid for David Alaba, the Manchester City left back now, the 26-year-old who is 87 overall because, well, let's just face it, we would love to get this guy in to play left back for us. Now, in the last episode, of course, we started the new season with Watford and we signed our first player of the season after Neymar came in on a free. We brought in Lukaku for £10 million plus Matej Vidra, but I said I wanted to get a left back this season. That was going to be our main area to strengthen because Riedewald played left back last season. He was okay. He scored the equalising goal in the Champions League final, but nothing special, and I want a really good solid left back. And here with Watford, we've got about £45 million left after the signing of Romelu Lukaku. I was just thinking that we may as well go all out and sign one of the best left backs in the world because obviously £45 million left to spend with Watford. We don't want to spend all of that, even though City won't accept a bid, or so they say, of anything lower than it seems about £50 million for David Alaba. £45 million, if we have to end up spending that on David Alaba, I wouldn't be against that because this may well be our final season with Watford. It may not be, but it may be. And, here with Watford, the squad is so good. Every single position is so good, but the left back area is one which we could do with strengthening, and therefore I don't really mind going all out on signing David Alaba if we have to. We get some more money here from the board as well after I requested some funds. So for David Alaba, I would be totally fine paying anything upwards of around 45 to 50 million pounds. We put in a second bid after the first one was rejected of 35 million pounds, and we shall wait and see what Pellegrini says. But I know that some of you guys out there may think that's a lot of money for a left back, but you got to remember that in this formation we're playing, the Docks as I've called it, it's a really offensive formation, but with a player like Alaba, one of the reasons why he could be an ideal fit for the left wing back role is because the fullbacks in this team are really involved in the play, because Nathaniel Klein last season, you saw that, got quite a few assists, had a fantastic debut year for us. The same is at right back as it is for left back in this formation. Both fullbacks get forward a lot and defend a lot. And David Alaba is really good when going forward and also defending as well. He can literally play all across the pitch. He's such a versatile player. I mean, Alaba, in my opinion, would be the ideal left wing back for us. So he would be the number one transfer target I have for this position, and that's why I'm prepared to go all out for him. Because, you could say we could probably get Luke Shaw for half the money, or, I don't know, maybe someone else like Gaia for half the money, who could do similar role. But with Alaba, he's just a complete player in terms of versatility. He can play anywhere. He's got so many positions listed in his position role, and you've seen his stats. The guy could literally play in any of the 10 outfield positions, in my opinion. So Alaba would be the ideal signing for us, and we'll have to wait and see what City say after our second bid of £35 million.
Neymar still looks like a boy, really, but he plays like a man, and he gets fouled a lot, and he actually can look after himself. Be interesting to see how he goes in his first game here today.
Well, I think he'll settle pretty quickly here. He's got the experience to do that, and his teammates will be excited to link up with him.
And we take on Manchester United for the first game of today's episode here, and also the first game of the new season in the Community Shield at Wembley. Last season, of course, we won both the Premier League and the FA Cup, and that's why United will take us on in the Community Shield, because they were the runners-up in the Premier League last season. So taking on United for the first game of the new season. It was also going to be Neymar's debut for us as well, starting up top with Mario Balotelli. How would he do? Well, it was actually William Carvalho who had the first chance of the game, though, as Ryan Tyler played through our Portuguese holding midfielder, but his shot was simply saved by Diego Alves to keep the score at 0-0. But in the 28th minute, United had their first chance of the game here as Butland punches this cross away. It falls to Memphis, who strikes it on the first time volley, but he can't keep the shot down, and it does go harmlessly over the bar and behind for a goal kick. So still goalless. Another good chance for United's new number 7 here in the 33rd minute, denied by a good save by Butland though. He got his shot on target this time, but Butland was there to make the save, and it was still goalless. So 0-0 was the score at the break. But 8 minutes after the restart, United had another great chance as Fellaini placed the ball through towards Pereira, Torreira, who goes for goal, but once again, Butland is equal to the shot and turns it behind for a corner. So still 0-0 in this game. But just past the hour mark here, Neymar would have his first real chance to open his Watford account here as he takes it around Luke Shaw down the right-hand side. Really nice couple of skill moves here from Neymar as he goes for goal. But it was one skill move too many, really. He slipped while taking the shot, and it was a simple save for the goalkeeper. So still 0-0. But in the 75th minute, another good chance for United. Darmian gets on the ball and finds Bastian Schweinsteiger. The German goes for goal, but once again, it's another really good save by Butland as he keeps it at 0-0. With 11 minutes to go, though, how about this? Luke Shaw is on the ball for United, and he gets himself into some trouble. He gives it to Phil Jones, but it's a terrible touch from the United centre-back. Lukaku steals in, robs the ball, and puts it into the top corner. And Romelu Lukaku, who comes off the bench, gets his first goal in a Watford shirt on his debut, and makes it Watford 1, Manchester United 0, and scores the goal that will surely win us the Community Shield. So terrible from Luke Shaw, putting his teammate under pressure there. Terrible touch from Phil Jones, though, in fairness as well. And Lukaku steals in, wins the ball, puts it past the on-rushing goalkeeper, and gets his first goal on his debut for Watford. So Watford 1, Manchester United 0. And a couple minutes later, we had a great chance to make it 2-0 and surely seal the game. Neymar goes down left-hand side and takes it around Fellaini here. Absolutely superb display of pace and trickery from Neymar here, down the left-hand side. Then takes it around Darmian, whips in a great cross to the centre as well. And he almost set up Lukaku for his second goal. The Belgian does win the header, but it's a great save by Diego Alves, though, and he gets it behind for a corner. But it was how the game would finish. Final score, Watford 1, Manchester United 0. We retain the Community Shield, win it back-to-back, and Lukaku scores on his debut as well. So Neymar in this game, all the attention was going to be on him, obviously, but it turns out that it's the other new signing for the season that gets the goal that wins us the game. Lukaku comes off the bench, and, he is going to be a bench player for us this season. I've signed him for the bench as a backup striker, but he won't be satisfied with that role. We know that. He'll want to get in the first team. He'll want to prove he's just as good as Neymar and Balotelli and get some game time, and that was one really good way of doing it because he came on late in this game but still managed to score the goal that won us the game and also almost double the lead for us too late on in that game. But anyway, we win the game. That's the most important thing. Watford 1, Manchester United 0, and I'm really pleased to get off to a winning start in the new season. Still following that, another bid for David Alaba of £40 million, but once again, as you can see, it was rejected, and a bid also came in for Marco Ryan Thaler here as well. Our young left winger is wanted by United, funnily enough, for £21.5 million, but I just said absolutely no way. Ryan Thaler is going absolutely nowhere. He's our left winger. He's just too good. He stays here at Vicarage Road, and he is going nowhere at this team. Nowhere other than this team, I should say. But still following out, another bid for David Alaba. I said I was prepared to go up to around £50 million. We put in a bid of £45 million, and we shall wait and see what Pellegrini says. I really do want to get hold of him. He is the best option for that left wing back role we have here, but to be honest, I think City are going to get to a stage where they'll probably just say nothing under than around 55 to 60 million pounds, which unfortunately will be too much for us. But we'll have to wait and see. There's still a chance he could come here, but City are trying to hold us to ransom right now. And I'm prepared to pay around 50 million pounds if we can afford it. But otherwise, 55, 60 million pounds won't be able to afford that amount of money, even though I wouldn't mind paying it. But either way, we shall have to wait and see what happens. Still taking on Sunderland here for the second and final game of today's episode. And how about this for a goal from Neymar? He scores his first goal for the club just 5 minutes in to his Premier League debut at the Stadium of Light, and he got a little bit luckier after a couple of failed skill moves, I'm not going to lie, but once he took it around the last man here, he knocks it round him, goes around the other side, and the composed finish past Pantilimon goes into the back of the net, and this was such a nice goal. I mean, this is what we got to look forward to with Neymar this season. I want to keep him in the striker role. I know he's going to be better, or maybe better suited on the wing in terms of cutting inside and going for goal if he played left wing, but in my opinion, I played the guy as a striker last season with Torino in that career mode, and he was fantastic, and I think he and Balotelli could work really well together this season. So Neymar opens his Premier League account just 5 minutes into the game here at Stadium of Light, though. Does make it Sunderland 0, Watford 1, as we led the game at the break in the Premier League season opener. So 1-0 to Watford at half-time, and in the second half, to be honest, not much really happened. I thought we should have had a penalty here 4 minutes after the restart, as Balotelli goes on a run down the left-hand side here. He cuts inside side and is about to go for goal. He gets clipped from behind and barged off the ball, but the referee says nothing, which I thought was really harsh on Balotelli there. Thought he should have had a penalty, but it was still 1-0 to Watford. Sunderland only had really one chance in the second half to report. This strike by Liam Brickett going off target and behind for a goal kick from the former Brighton man, and it was how the game would finish as well. Final score, Sunderland 0, Watford 1. A pretty poor season opener under the rain here at Stadium of Light. I'm not going to lie, but we don't really mind. We get off to a winning start in the opening day of the season, and Neymar scores on his Premier League debut as well. So already goals for Lukaku and Neymar, the new signings, absolutely fantastic. We do win a Community Shield, our first trophy this season. We retain that and also win the Premier League opening day as well. Things are looking up with Watford as we start our 4th season. But that does it in the episode though, guys, so thank you very much for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you enjoyed today's episode of Career Mode, then please do leave a like, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.